I want more. And I know I shouldn't.
All right, Giants Nation. So this is officially going to be episode 2 of Giants Fan Check. And what I usually do is I just go through the different Giants groups on Facebook or Reddit or wherever and just check to see what's the most interesting post of the day or the last few days. Right now, one of the most interesting topics comes from a fan that says that this is hilarious. Now Giants fans want a bridge QB. Who the F they waiting for? Hint, hint. I said this 5 months ago, but how would they wait on good old boy Arch before thinking about drafting one of the top 3 QBs in this draft? So some of the fan base isn't sold on this draft. Unfortunately, the media is selling this as a weak draft class because it is weaker than last year's draft. But the top 2 guys, in my opinion, are just as good as Drake May. So yes, it is weaker than last year's draft. But it's weird that we're selling it as a weak draft, considering that last year's draft was really just top heavy. So the best quarterbacks got drafted in the first round, and obviously there were more of them. So I guess that's how they see that class as a strong class and this one as a weak class. I guess if Arch comes out next year, then you could say that the other draft for next year is going to be better than this draft, but there's a chance he could go back to school. And so, there are some QBs that their stocks fell this previous season for college. I'm thinking the dude that played for Georgia, Carson, I guess he's going to Miami now. Maybe he comes on next year. But ultimately, I've been saying that you guys really don't like Brian Daboll because, the guy's been here, 3 years now, and he still hasn't had his own quarterback. He was forced to take John Mara's quarterback, and then now he has a chance to draft his quarterback, assuming that the Browns don't draft a quarterback, because we think that we know that the Tennessee Titans are drafting one. So Titans draft one, and then the Browns draft one. Then now it's like, okay, who are you going to take as the Giants? Are you going to take Jackson Dart? Are you going to take Jalen? Because I think if that's the case, some fans are okay with passing on Jackson Dart or even Jalen. And if that's the case, then yes, you would go with a bridge quarterback. And then a lot of you guys would pray that Arch comes out next year, which I don't think he's going to come out next year. I'm going to take the no on that and not be disappointed like a lot of you guys will be. So the next fan basically says, stop it. He was just playing with y'all. And I guess this is from the conversation that he had with Saquon Barkley, where Saquon Barkley told him that he didn't say New York Giants. He said New York needs a quarterback. I mean, low key, both New York teams need a quarterback, but I don't see why you wouldn't take, Winston, considering that you just had Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito, and I feel like Winston is better than those 2 quarterbacks. So you would want him to play the backup role. I don't know if I would want him to be a bridge quarterback, but if that was a choice, let's just say that's the route that the Giants opted to go with, I wouldn't be mad at it. But ultimately, I would prefer to have Cam Ward or Shador and still get Winston as a backup and just to be there to mentor these young guys. But this is a conversation. It was a conversation prior to Saquon saying something. A lot of the Giants fans wanted Jameis while they were watching him play in Cleveland. And yes, he did have a few games where he threw an interception, but that's been Jameis's career, man. Even when he was with Tampa, it's just big throws, but some of them are INTs. It is what it is. The Giants fans, they love that kind of stuff, though. They like the quarterback throwing the ball deep and giving Malik Neighbors a chance to make a play. So I don't see why not for Jameis. But yes, some of the fans are pushing back on it, but I feel like the Giants media outlets, they're definitely pushing for Jameis to sign here, which I wouldn't mind. Now, this next one comes from a fan that reposted Malik Neighbors' tweet. He basically tweeted 9 and 10. So obviously Stafford and Coop are about to, or Cup, I don't even, Cup. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I look, man, outside of fantasy, I'm not watching the Rams. But both players could potentially get traded. We know Cup basically has been rumored to be on the trade block, so there is a chance where the Giants do sign a veteran wide receiver to pair with Malik Neighbors as opposed to drafting another wide receiver. We know things aren't going well with Hyatt. A lot of people are disappointed in Hyatt, and we don't know what the deal is with Darius Slayton, and Wandell is Wandell. But yeah, if you can get Cup, you definitely trade for him if that's something that Joe wants to do. Now, when it comes to Stafford, Stafford's a good quarterback, but you know, he would definitely be a bridge quarterback. And if that's the route the Giants are opting to take, I'm okay with it. I'm just kind of annoyed at the fact that the GM and the coach are still here without drafting their own quarterback. So it's like, damn, they got a chance to stay after the mess that was Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. A lot of you guys thought we should sign Saquon Barkley, and I think you're wrong with that. I think, both players, if I could go back in time, I would just tell the Giants to stay away from both, because I get that y'all are obsessed with Saquon Barkley, but I don't see how we win with Saquon Barkley. I see him getting hurt here because he's just doing more. That's a situation that's not going on in Philly. A lot of y'all don't understand that. Y'all don't understand how offensive lines work. Y'all don't understand how he can run for 2,000 yards with the Eagles, but not with the Giants, which is crazy to me. It's right in front of you, but he's a great running back. But some of y'all really need to get off that man's nuts. Like, I still got Saquon Barkley gear, but some of y'all are really on this man's nuts. It's really annoying. It's to the point where y'all are telling me that the Eagles got to the Super Bowl with Sanders, but they can't get to the Super Bowl with any other top 7 running back not named Saquon Barkley, which is insane meat riding. Please stop it. But yeah, those are the 3 posters for the day. Tell me which one you thought was interesting. Do you like the idea of the Giants, going for Stafford and Cup? If yes, comment down below. Also, if you want to say something outlandish, I can talk about it in the next video. So feel free to say anything, even if it's Saquon Barkley love, because some of you so-called Giants fans are still in love with Saquon Barkley. You can go ahead and show Saquon love or say something ridiculous so I can talk about it. All right, guys.